Прикрой меня, я должен перезарядиться!
Now folks, disclaimer first, before we start. This vehicle is only for the Russian server. I'll make it very obvious in the intro, in the thumbnail, that this is a Russian server only vehicle. Don't get your panties in a twist, it should never come to the other non-authoritarian servers. Hopefully, but there's nothing to talk about. Let's take a look at the Object 156 O version. Practically elongated T-62 chassis without a turret, has a hull-mounted nipple point, and that is the flamethrower. So, none of the Churchill Crocodile or Sherman Crocodile boring vehicles. This thing is a Cockroach with a flamethrower. Premium Tier 8 Russian artillery, technically. So, premium artillery, it's a flamethrower though, but large KPV machine gun, that's not usable. Otherwise, this thing is broken. So, secondary armament is good for light tanks. They can outrun your flames, but this thing is actually fast too. Has 250 at the hull front base, and it's also sloped, so technically better armor than heavy tanks like the 𝗗𝗙. It's also pretty nimble too, so it's not slow, but it is a medium tank chassis though. It also has camouflage, so mobile bunker of a flamethrower vehicle. Yeah, it already screams broken, right? It already screams more broken than a BZ-176. This thing chases you down with armor and flamethrowers you while stunning you with the flame. It can also stun with the ammunition or flame fuel, but yeah, this thing's already broken. I don't have to explain this thing. Has a snorkel on top. The large KPV machine gun takes up like most of the screen too. Only crew of 3, commander, driver, and a gunner, but yeah, practically engine in the back, flamethrower in the middle, and crew compartment as well, but no. Why does this thing have 250 at the hull front? It doesn't make sense, but then again, it's a small vehicle, so technically you could fit 250mm of armor, I guess. Crew of 3, it's technically a burst gun, similar to the Char Model 75, except fires high explosive, technically rounds. It's flame fuel, but about 2,100 DPM. You cannot put a rammer on this thing because logics, or realistically speaking, how the hell do you ram a flame fuel? But it reloads at about 20 seconds. So clip of 3, each clip has 30 rounds or so. So it takes about 4 seconds between each clip. 30 rounds in total, but 10 rounds per burst. So that's how they calculate Russian, but aim time is crap. Accuracy is crap. It's a flamethrower obviously, but yeah, crew of 3. Let's take a look. So penetration at 85mm. It's a flame high explosive, but 40 alpha damage per shell. Technically with 30 rounds, that's 1,200 if you manage to pin all the flame fuel. So not bad, right? It reloads at 20 seconds per clip. So each clip has 30 rounds, and each burst is 10 rounds with 3 seconds or 4 seconds in between. So it takes about, oh no, that's the number of clip. So 3 clips of 30 rounds, 3 clips of 10 rounds into 30, 4 seconds between each burst, and it will take like 0.17 seconds per burst, so pretty quick. Traverse for the gun is not, it's in the socket, so it doesn't matter. 5 degrees gun depression, 20 elevation, 30 per side, so it is limited, obviously, but 2.88 seconds of aim time, and accuracy is god awful. 3.83. Normally it's about 0.3 something, right? That is like 10 times worse, but obviously the spread of the flame fuel. 2,100 DPM, not half bad. And it doesn't get a premium shell, so there's no black napalm or something. Otherwise they'll be super good. 8 seconds of stun if you manage to hit something or pin, but pretty annoying. Now effective range of the gun is 150 meters. Technically you cannot, obviously shoot flame fuel all the way across the map, but 150 is still decent in my opinion. I mean, it's not like 50 meters where you have to get really freaking close 150 is good enough, but yeah, this thing will like city maps or heavy corners, right? It has armor. It can actually deflect shells. Well, doesn't have to pin to stun people. Imagine a platoon of 3 of these things. 1,200 health, more like a tank destroyer, but close enough. Now, this is the funny part. 250 at the freaking hull front. Effectively, it's about 500 millimeters to about 400 millimeters. Now, the weak spot is obviously the gun mantlet, but it has onion levels of space armor layers. So, good luck getting through this thing too. Oh my gosh. Lower plate 252. So effectively with the sloping it's about 500. Oh my. I mean, technically you cannot penetrate this thing with a tier 6 unless you shoot the commander cupola. Or if you're tall enough, you can overmatch the freaking 20 millimeter roof armor. So don't get hit by artillery shells or other taller flamethrower vehicles or on a hill shooting downwards into your hull roof. But how is this thing a thing? Side armor is 90, which is actually not bad for a medium tank technically, but you can actually side scrape too. Not recommended, but you could side scrape. You could throw out a few shots, but it does have a weak spot, so technically it's not broken, right? It has a weak spot on top. And this thing is nimble, surprisingly. Well, it's a medium tank chassis, but it is about 21.64 horsepower per ton ratio, weighs about 32 tons already. So you could go ramming light tanks, but hull traverse is medium tank. Top speed is not bad. It's a T62 chassis, except it's a little bit faster. T62A has about 55, or at least, or at the worst, 50 kilometers per hour top speed. So technically, it's a little bit faster. And camo is not bad too. 21.66 while stationary and moving. It's alright. But view range, Russian heavy tank, 350. You don't need the view range, you have armor. How is this vehicle a thing? So equipment wise and ammo wise, has a barrel drum of flame fuel. There's no other ammo, it's just flame fuel. So obviously you cannot put a rammer on this thing, otherwise you'll be even more broken. But you probably would fit vents, optics, and a turbocharger. That's the only thing that's effective, right? You don't need camo nets or binoculars. You don't even need to aim. Enhanced gun lane drive, yeah, don't need that crap. You can't even have more health. You can't even put improved hardening on this vehicle. You can only put small liner and the toolbox thing. Oh, I mean, you could have better camo, but that's, yeah, you have armor. You don't need camo. Alright, finally, let's take a look at field mods before we see an actual demonstration of the vehicle. But field mods wise, the same as with tank destroyers. So better mobility, better terrain resistance, or better traverse, or better terrain resistance. Always better terrain resistance. Effectively, you have better mobility. Effectively, I think. Top speed or camo after firing. That is a no-brainer. Are you serious? You already have garbage ammo while firing. You're a flamethrower. You have no camo after firing, but top speed by 5. That is huge. I mean, normally it's about 2 kilometers per hour top speed with field mods, but 5? Definitely this one, definitely. And dispersion or likely aim time. Is it aim time? Or some sort of other dispersion? Oh, it's hull dispersion or gun dispersion. Now, normally this thing already has crap dispersion, so I would prefer to have better hull dispersion while you're moving the entire hull and swaying the gun around to flamethrow stuff. But so with all this stuff, can you put improved bond equipment? Or you could, yeah, you could also put like turbocharger. You cannot put experimental, or you cannot put the health or aiming experimental equipments. You can only put the turbocharger experimental equipments. And not like you need it, right? but this thing is pretty devastating. So fully kitted out, yeah, this thing will stun. Don't forget, it will stun. It has armor, it has it has mobility, and some good camo too. The only downside is the range of the flamethrower. Alright. So the Russian server's Tankopedia page. Now what is funny about this page is when translated, so they explain what the vehicles is, Soviet experimental flamethrower, blah blah blah. Now what is funny is the last line. Machine specification are subject to change without compensation. They already know it's broken, so they can actually nerf this vehicle if needed, but I have a quick video of a clip of this vehicle, so let's take a look and take some impressions. But yeah, mobility wise it's pretty nimble. It's like a medium tank. The only downside is obviously the gun depression and the range. You can also secondary fire and actually lob the flamethrower shell, or technically shell, across a friggin' gap or across a cover. You can also flip yourself over because it's so flat. Alright, let's see. 𝗗𝗙𝗙𝗙 E-100, so bottom tier, tier 8. Oh, big targets. You can actually flamethrower. Okay. It's like it's like golden shower of freaking flamethrower. Yeah, it's not broken. Of course it's not broken. It's annoying as all hell, but it can actually stun people. Oh my god, that is pretty toxic. That's not gonna lie, that is kind of bad. All right, let's just move forward. So he has to face off against a heavy tank. All his teammates are dead. It's WZ-114. He's ignoring the flamethrower, but he's gonna ram it, hopefully, or not. So 𝗗𝗙𝗙𝗙 E-100. Nice. The WZ is firing high explosive round for some reason. Alright. You can overmatch the roof. 𝗗𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗙 E-100 bounce a high explosive anti-tank round with the 170mm. The highest pin friggin' high explosive anti-tank round in the game, but bounce. It's 250 slope at the whole front. And it's nimble enough to outrun the 𝗗𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗙 E-100. Yeah, piss off this WZ-114. Yeah, flamethrower him. Oh, this is not broken. This is definitely not broken. So yeah, you can annoy the crap by just basically playing as artillery, except you have armor, you have health, and you have mobility. To go to the front line and play this thing like a little bird, the FE-304, except you can also combat other vehicles with the armor. So annoying. Obviously don't get flanked, but yeah, you don't have that much health to deal with, but you still have the armor. Yeah, your armor works at the front, but you have also teammates to help you out. But yeah, it goes to show you, yeah, when you're bottom tier, it's not that bad. You have cover, right? You can lob the flame. And this thing doesn't have the pin, you just need to burn stuff. Yeah, they will be stunned, and they will be slow because of the stun, for you to move about effectively to the rear and just continue to flamethrower people. How the hell do you deal with this thing in a freaking tier 6? It's even more broken. It's definitely more broken than a BZ-176. No question on this vehicle is not broken. This is freaking broken. It's a freaking broken over vehicle. I'll definitely play this thing over the BZ, cause goddamn. How the hell do you kill this thing in a freaking tier 6? You cannot outrun it unless you're playing something of a light tank or a very fast medium like a Cromwell, but still, this thing could keep up. It has armor too. So only downside is overmatching the roof and the commander cupola, but you already saw it can lob the shell over a cover. So yeah, this thing, psh, child's play. Bush League. It is not that broken. The Bush League compared to this thing. If this thing would come to the other servers, it's a 9. It's like 9.5, I would say. It is scary. If it has no freaking cupola weak spots or roof weakness of 20mm, then this thing is like a freaking 10 out of 10. Maybe if you have like 200-meter range with a flamethrower, but based on the corridor maps, right? Based on the cover system or a bunch of freaking like junk in the way, you can actually lob the shell and support your teammates if you're bottom tier. If you're top tier, then hell, you have only 85mm will go through most tier 6 vehicles, mostly. Like medium tank at least, but yeah, it's a 9 out of 10 if it comes to the non-authoritarian servers. Alright folks, there you go. What the fuck? The fuck is a Object 156 O version? It's fucking broken. So nothing to talk about, but I'll do these funny videos on the Russian server. God forbid, but as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.